it's Liz Yuille from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you very much for joining me again today for another Simple Stamping Saturday. So on Simple Stamping Saturday, you get 3 projects from me. I make the simple version and then I'll show you 2 stepped up versions. And this week we're using Don't Stop Believin', which is a beautiful stamp set. There are so many amazing cards on Pinterest using this set, but mostly focusing on Santa Claus, Father Christmas, whichever you want to call him. So I have done a previous Simple Stamping Saturday using the Melted Snowman. Today I thought I would concentrate on the poor elf who is getting himself in a bit of a tangle. So let me show you how I've made this card. I'm going to make a slightly different version, only because quite often I use watercolour pencils when I do a simple stamping project. This time I thought I would use a colour family set of Stampin' Right markers. This uses the Regals set. This is just 5 of the colours that I've used. But there is also, sorry, there are other colours, but I'm going to use the Brights for this one. I've just realised one thing I've forgotten. No, I'm going to have to make it up. That's fine, because the Brights don't really have a brown. So for his hair on this version, I used Cajun Craze. He'll probably just have black hair. Anyway, let me show you. Oh, and of course, I've stamped the envelope as well with the Don't Get Your Tinsel in a Tangle. Although it's actually a string of lights, you kind of get the drift. So, Whisper White note card. There is the mountain. So this is our front. So I've just got my, somewhere I've got an ink pad. Oh, there it is. I've just got my stamp. I'm just going to ink it up with Memento. And pop it down towards the bottom right hand corner, but not fully into it, because I want to get the sentiment underneath. So that's our little elf. And then if I bring in the sentiment, we can then stamp that. I'm coming right across to the fold, well, just in from the fold, and then stamp down. But this is why I said I needed my elf to be slightly up, because even going all the way to the fold, you wouldn't get his tinsel in a tangle fitted in. So, I will be using the single basic black marker as well. Oh, I know what I also need to stamp, of course, and that's the envelope while I'm stamping. So let's ink the sentiment up again. And I'm just popping that down in the bottom right hand corner, out of the way of the stamps and all of that stuff. So there we go. So that's my envelope ready to go. Now I'm going to go red and green again. I've decided that most of his outfit is green, but he's got a pair of red trousers. So I'm going to start by colouring his trousers. And I like using the right end as opposed to the brush end, purely when it's something as small as this, it's just kind of, there's more control. None of the areas on this image are what I would call large. So the brush end, and I will show you the brush end in a moment, the brush end for me probably a bit too large, certainly for his trousers, which are definitely in a tangle with the lights. So I don't know about you, but I'm filming this ahead of schedule, but it's going to be raining very hard this weekend. We have a weather warning for heavy rain. So that'll be something to look forward to. Great day for crafting, therefore. And of course today is World Card Making Day. So that was the writing end. This is the brush end, which gives you a much wider sweep. So here's a literally scrap of Whisper White. So it gives you a nice sweep. You can do some fine detail, but it's not as precise as either the blends or the writing end. So I like to just be a little bit circumspect, I think is possibly the word I'm looking for. Not too slapdash. So we've got Granny Apple Green as our green in the brights. And with the Stampin' Right markers, I find if you do a sort of circular motion, you get less of an obvious overlap. Because they are just watercolour, it does mean that they do have a tendency to show if you overlap them too much. But if you do a circular motion, you get a more even finish, or an uneven finish that is even, is possibly a better way of putting it. But the only thing you need to be aware of is that there is a lot of fine detail, so don't kind of get too carried away and suddenly colour into thin air. But it's a great little image. And say it's World Card Making Day. I would be thrilled to hear what you're doing for World Card Making Day. So why don't you leave a comment in the comments below the description bar, and while you're looking around for those sorts of things, why don't you subscribe to my channel while you're at it? I make videos about 3 times a week. I used to do them daily, but life has kind of taken over. So I'm now doing them about 3 times a week. And if you like seeing papercraft videos, this is the channel for you, particularly if you want to see papercraft videos that don't take life too seriously. I don't believe in editing. 2 reasons. A, if I go wrong, I quite like to be able to show you how to get it out of the problem. But also, I have found that editing takes forever. And I just don't have that sort of time. I'm sure it's one of those things that when you do it frequently it gets easier, but no, not for me. I would say much rather you saw that we are all human and that mistakes do happen. So I'm just doing the sort of finer detail first, and then I might be brave and use the brush end, because we have got some bigger areas here. Just be careful not to do too much in one place, or you could end up with your card pilling, which is not a good look. Right, so that's the red and the green. I'm going to start colouring in bulbs. So this is Mango Melody, so we've used Poppy Parade and Granny Apple. That wasn't one I wanted to do, this colour. Oh well, that's going to go red. The whole point was that I was going to be sort of alternating them, but it's all right. I can put Poppy Parade over the top. It's fine. I thought I might add some different coloured ones to this as well, because we've got these brighter colours. So let's try some Pacific Point as well. Let's have that one in Pacific Point, and then we'll have the last 2 in Poppy Parade, which will mean that we've got more than just the one Poppy Parade. There we go. And then all we need to do now is draw in our flecks. And I'm imagining that these are going into either silver or white holders, because otherwise it's going to be very black. Now, if you don't have a Stampin' Right marker, I guess any fine-tipped black felt pen would do. But the black Stampin' Right marker, which is available as a single pen, is really useful. I use it so often. It's great if you haven't stamped very well. You can draw in where you missed. And we all have days where our stamping is not as perfect as we would like it to be. We are, as I say, only human. Oh, while I'm finishing this off, do remember that we've got the Designer Series paper sale. So if you like paper, pattern paper, this is the sale for you. Oh, I was going to give him hair, wasn't I? Actually, let's go Daffodil Delight hair. So yes, selected papers are 15% off. So a great time to stock up, and it's both annual catalogue and August-December catalogue papers. So make the most of it. So there we are. There's my Brights and my Regals. And let me bring them up so you can see them. I would have been sensible if I had zoomed in, wouldn't it? So while I was colouring, but I forgot. So that's the Brights. This is the Regals. And then I'm going to bring in my first stepped up version, which uses the Heartwarming Hugs Designer Series paper, which has got Real Red and Mossy Meadow in it, which is why I've therefore done my colouring in Real Red and Mossy Meadow. And I've just extended my everyday label punch. I have to get the right one. So I've just cut this the same width as the punch and then just punched each end. If you followed me for any time, you know I like to extend my stamps so that, or punches rather, so you use them for other things. So yes, Mossy Meadow, Real Red, and I've added, I don't know if you can pick it up, I've added some Wink of Stella to the light bulbs, and then I've got the gold glitter dots for just a little bit of extra, and it popped up, so that's that one. And then for my stepped up version number 2, I've used one of the stitched shape ovals, which is the largest of the ovals in the stitched shape dies, and same colouring. This time I've heat embossed on Mossy Meadow, don't get your tinsel in a tangle, and used some of the Real Red ribbon from the annual catalogue, and again I've used the same colours but in reverse, so you've got Real Red and Mossy Meadow and Real Red. So, oh, and I've used the Crystal Effects glue effects stuff to pick out the light bulbs. So they're a little bit proud and nice and shiny. Again, probably not very easy to see on camera. But there you are. Those are my 3 and a bit projects. So I hope you enjoyed that. Just a nice way of seeing how you can progress through, particularly if I get them in the right order. So you can start off with something fairly quick and simple, and then as you get more items in your stash, you can do a little bit more. Thank you very much indeed for watching. As I say, if you'd like to subscribe, I would be very, very grateful. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. Any comments, what you're doing for World Card Making Day? Are you going to be sending your cards out? Which one of these you prefer? Leave those in the comments below. There's a link in the description bar to the blog post that goes with this, where I'll have more photographs, hopefully catch some of the finer detail. Have a fantastic weekend. Keep well, keep healthy, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Thanks a lot. Bye!